Hi, I'm Matilda, and this is Wine Unfiltered. This channel isn't about wine snobbery or complicated rules. It's really getting back to the basics. It's about how wine fits into normal life messy, beautiful, imperfect. Sometimes you're broke, you don't have the money to buy some fancy wines. So that's what I'm all about. Because I started getting into wine as a university student in France. And to make some extra money, me and my friends, we went to do the wine harvest in Burgundy at like a super small winery. It was really like a magical kind of energy in the vineyards. It's really hard to describe, but Burgundy wine is seen as something so fancy and fine in not just the wine world, but kind of like most people kind of have that perception because they make really great wines. But when I was there, it's really just like grunt work and a simple country life, like often family owned, and we would have lunch together and then dinner together, and you would have just like the most basic table wine with your dinner and with your lunch. And it's really nothing fancy about it. It's just really about being together and having a good time, even though this work is so hard. And I was literally dead every night after doing harvest for 10 hours. There was just an energy, and I was absolutely fascinated by that. So I decided to not do anything with my bachelor's degree that I did in media and communication and got a job at a wine shop 3 months after that experience doing harvests. And my experience in the wine world as a Gen Z, I'm pretty clear from the beginning that Gen Z does not really play a role in wine at all. Not just because we're not interested, but because the wine world has kind of like created this image of exclusivity and snobbery. And that's just not really appealing to Gen Z. But then also, I don't think the wine world is really making an effort to appeal to Gen Z. And this is why we're in a crazy ass wine crisis. The wine industry is in crisis. I mean, we've been down in consumption and production. We haven't been this low for the last 60 years. So we're at a really bad point in the wine industry right now. And I personally feel that too because we have our own wine, which is a sparkling wine produced here in California in Napa. And it's hard. It's hard to sell. People go for seltzers. They have some White Claw, kombucha, whatever. Wine is not the go to. It's kind of losing a little bit of relevance in millennial and Gen Z generation. And again, it's not because we don't care. It's just because the wine world isn't really talking to us. That's my experience. And also my experience as someone who worked at a wine shop, right? People would often not necessarily take me seriously. I don't know if that was because of my age, because of my gender, because wine is still also a very male dominated industry, and queer women are not necessarily the standard in the wine world. So I've just experienced a bunch of different things that made me not really love, that made me really annoyed. I really get annoyed, to be honest. Working at those wine shops, I was like, this is like super annoying. Why aren't you not making an effort? All our clients are like 60 plus, they're gonna die someday, and then here we are not having any customers. So that's why kind of like my mission in the wine world is to just make it a little bit more accessible, right? And like take away all this like fanciness and just because you don't need to know about the regions, about the grapes, about the terroir, all that vocabulary. At the end of the day, wine is a beverage and wine is about people. Wine isn't about anything fancy. There's a lot. Obviously, you can go so deep in wine. You can study wine. There's so much really cool stuff to learn, which I did and I loved it. But the average person doesn't need to know all that. And if you go to wine tasting, you just say what you taste, right? Say what you like, say what you don't like. It's all about fun and it's not as complicated. And that's kind of like what I want to do here. I want to like go back to the basics and really show y'all what you can do with a basic wine from Trader Joe's. I mean, I love some expensive wines, believe me. But I don't have the money for that. I don't have the money to buy a $60, $70 bottle. I have the money to buy a $10 to $15 bottle for my average consumption, right? And that's what we're talking about here. So you can always treat yourself with something, but in general, at its core, wine is really no different than coffee or beer. It's a beverage you enjoy in community, ideally. Or if you really bad day, you go home, have a glass. It's beautiful. I'm not talking about excessive drinking. I want to make that clear because it's very important to me. It's about enjoying the beverage. So this channel is really about carving out something different, like something softer and like more honest and more just fun. I was thinking I want to pair like all my weird favorite Trader Joe's snack with like some like some wine. I ate this yesterday. I don't know if you know it, My fiance hates it. She says it's way too spicy. I would love to see if I can find a wine to pair that with, right? It's not about being fancy. It's really just about having fun. And it's so cool to like try out different pairings. And it's so fun. And I want to share that with you. So that's literally what we're going to do on this channel. There's really nothing to prove. If you're new to wine, if you're a wine expert, if you're just a foodie who wants to get some cool pairings down, this is really like the place for you. Do a bunch of like just honest tastings, pairing ideas with like everyday food, real conversations about wine culture too, and stories from the wine world that you maybe don't know, that might maybe are just entertaining and maybe just like make you think about wine a little bit. I also have a podcast called Wine Unfiltered. So what I'm doing there is like kind of like talking about scandalous stories because I'm a huge true crime fan and I know many people are. And there's a bunch of really funny and really intriguing and like scandalous true crime stories in the wine world. So on that podcast, I'm kind of talking about those. You can check that out on Patreon or Apple Podcasts. It's called Wine Unfiltered. Just for me, wine is really just all about no intimidation, no exclusivity. Let's just drink together. You know, you can like pour yourself a glass when you watch these videos, or if you find a wine that you like, you should go and check it out. And it's gonna be a wine that's probably you'll find at your local grocery store. You know, because I know we all like this world is on fire. Everybody works so hard, so we don't really have time to go to multiple different stores to buy all our stuff. You know, so that's really what I'm all about, and I'm so excited to share that with y'all. And I've never done something like that, so I'll get better while we go. It's just about having fun and enjoying this beautiful beverage. So if that's something that you're interested in, if that's your vibe, follow along, subscribe, and like this video. And welcome to Wine Unfiltered. I'll see you in my first pairing video coming out soon.